Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early. Daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through Sunday. Got to light up some incense. We did some Nag Champa on the last Sunday edition. I like to always set the mood. This time we got Hem Champa. Equally as good. Good for a spiritual talk. I got some guitar music going. Some green tea. So set your mood right. Let's get into our Sunday study group for warriors, my hardcore heads. Some of you guys just want to sleep in, go sleep in. Who needs you? Some of us are up, we're programming, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through every single day, daily discipline, lifestyle management. If anybody out there wants coaching or mentoring, go to my website, skyazrael.com. I always put the link below, or you can find me on social media. Let's just go through this. Let's start off with some Manhood Skills 101. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is how we get down on Sundays, and basically, I take notes on everything I study. I study every single day. You should be too. This is just some of the stuff that I've studied over the week. Let's just go through it. I got a bunch of pages. We'll see if we get through a couple. These are Manhood Skills. Manhood Skills 101. So you should learn how to tie a tie. Learn how to tie a tie. A lot of guys don't know how to tie a tie. They have their woman do it. I had a friend of mine ask me to do it. Tie a tie. You're a grown man, you should tie a tie. I've been able to tie a tie since I was, 12 years old. You should know 2 different ways to tie a tie, but at least one is good enough. But you should know the half Windsor, and then you might want to just look up, just Google the 4-in-hand. Those 2, the 4-in-hand and the half Windsor knots, be all you ever need. You should learn how to polish shoes properly. That's a skill that every man should have. You should have shoes worth polishing. If all you wear is Chuck Taylors or Air Jordans, it's time to get some man shoes. Grow up, time to be a man, get yourself some real shoes, and learn how to take care of them and polish them. There's reasons for all this stuff. This isn't just arbitrary. Learn to iron properly. Learn to iron a shirt, learn to iron a jacket, learn to iron pants. But learn to do it properly. There's 5-minute videos you can watch and learn how to use your iron. Get an iron and an ironing board. I have one set up right over there in my living room, and I can iron all my shirts, all my nice stuff, and watch TV as I do it. Learn to sew. I'm not a very good sewer. You military guys have to learn to sew. Learn to stab. You don't know how to stab nobody? Learn to stab. Learn how to use a knife. You might have to use one day. God, let's hope that you never have to, but Manhood Skills 101. Learn how to protect yourself. Learn to speak well. And learn to speak competently. So you'll be articulate and you'll be competent as you're talking. Learn to do that. And learn to live a mind, body, and soul daily disciplined lifestyle. These are all manhood skills. You should be doing all these things. Let's move on. Let's talk about some gentleman stuff for dudes who want to be gentlemen. You want to be a gentleman? I kind of like the whole gentleman thing. There's this whole gentleman thing going on. I kind of vibe on that. I think that's a good idea. So here's 4 ways that you can be a gentleman. They all start with S. I'm an author, a writer, and I like alliteration. Style. Pay attention to your style. How you put yourself together. Your image matters. It's important. If you don't think so, you're a fool. You're an idiot. Pay attention to your scent. Have a signature scent. Pay attention to your substance. Have some substance to you. Have some depth to you. Be a deep person. If you're stupid, try to smarten up. And have some stability. Be stable. Turn the music down. He's jamming out now. This is the Bach edition of Peaceful Guitar that I found. It's actually a pretty good little set, and he's jamming now. I'll turn it down so you guys don't get distracted. Here's a question. Let's ask ourselves this question. What drives you? Are you driven by uncertainty or by certainty? That's an interesting question if you philosophize on it. So what drives you? What's motivating you? Uncertainty, which could be linked to fear. Are you driven by fear? Going into the unknown. But there's adventure to be found in the unknown. That's where your success lies and your future lies, and everything that you've ever wanted is in the unknown. But it can be scary, and what drives you? Are you driven by uncertainty? Or are you driven by certainty? And you know how the world works. You're very set on how everything is put together and how it all works. You're very conscious of what lays before you. Some people have their whole lives planned out for them. And they're moving forward with certainty towards a goal. There's no mystery for them. It's just two different ways of navigating forward with certainty or uncertainty. I think we switch back and forth. Let's move on. Here's some things for you guys to think about on first dates. Maybe you're single, and maybe you're finally ready to go back out into the dating world. I hope you are. Working on yourself and thinking about moving forward, thinking about family, thinking about a companion. I think that's a perfectly fine goal to have. So if you have a first date, put in some effort. Have a plan. Don't just say, well, what do you want to do? Have a plan. Come to the date with a plan. This is what we're going to do. Pick her up. Don't meet her any place. Pick her up. You pick her up, you drive. She doesn't pick you up, you pick her up. If you don't have a car, you're not going on a date. If you don't have a car, you're not going on a date. Get yourself a car. Or a motorcycle. Show up looking your best. She should be looking her best too. Don't fuck with your phone. She shouldn't be messing with it either. If she messes with her phone at any point during the date, it's a red flag. Remember that. Remember the red flags. And you count them up at the end. How many red flags were on this date? 14, 15, 20? Is she marriage material? You had 20 red flags on your first date? And show interest in her. Stop with this aloof crap and trying to ignore or playing some game. Show interest. You like her? Show interest in her. Number 2 is chivalry. Be chivalrous. Chivalry isn't dead. Maybe it is for suckers and losers. Be polite. Open doors. You know, the whole thing. When you're walking down the street with her, you stand on the outside. She stands on the inside. You be a gentleman. You have etiquette. You try to be classy. Number 3 is responsible. Have responsibility. These are first date ideas. What can you do on a first date? You can be responsible. Don't get drunk. I don't care if you drink. I don't drink. But if you're going to drink, have 1 drink. Don't have 2. Don't get tipsy. Don't even let yourself get close to tipsy. Show up on time. Don't be late. If there's traffic or whatever, plan ahead. Look at your phone, see if there's any accidents on the way. Make sure you have gas in your car before the date. Don't be late. A good woman's gonna look at that as a major red flag. He was late. And be confident in yourself and secure in yourself. That'll make you look more responsible and respectful, more like a boss, less like a little child, a little boy. Number 4, the last one in first date ideas is have good communication skills. So part of this is following up after a date. Following up with her text message or with a phone call after a date is good communication skills. And forget about this 3 days or a week. If you had a great date, you'd call her, text her the same day, a couple hours after she left, and just be like, I had a great time. Hope you got home safe. Follow up after the date, and that's your responsibility as the man to follow up. Don't wait for her. Go after her. You like her, go after her. Good communication skills encompass listening more than talking. You should be asking more questions. You shouldn't be monologuing or talking all about yourself. And no cursing, no street talks, no ebonics. Slip out of any of that slang. This is hard for me because I talk in a lot of slang. Let's move on. If you're too busy, lighten your load. Stop complaining to me about how fucking busy you are. Lighten your load, but then don't complain about your lack of success or your lack of movement. Go take a vacation, go sit around and do nothing, but don't complain to me about how you're going nowhere. Successful people are busy. Go look into it. Elon Musk sleeps what, like 2-3 hours a night? I'm not saying you got to be Elon Musk, but if you want to be in a different place than where you're at, you want some forward movement, you better start getting busy. You only have one life. You can sleep when you're dead. Why are you so tired anyways? Is that your fear trying to hold you back? Is the tired a self-sabotage? You might want to think about that. Your exhaustion could be psychological. Let's talk a little bit more about relationship skills and relationship stuff. Here are some red flags for women. So when you meet a woman, you single guys, she's going to be looking for them red flags just like you are, and you should be looking for them. It's a red flag if you, the man going into the date, going into this relationship, it's a red flag if you have no friends. If you're just a loner in this world, you have no friends, none at all. That's a red flag. That's a problem. Especially if you have no male friends, you have no guy friends. It's a red flag for women if you have bad friends or low-life friends. And she meets your buddies and they're all a bunch of fat loser video game nerds going nowhere, doing nothing, acting like immature idiots, picking their nose, scratching their nuts, talking in slang and curse words and wearing little kid clothes and whatever, right? These are all your buddies. And she looks at them and realizes you're one of them. Red flags for women could be that you're not into self-care. If you're not living a mind, body, and soul lifestyle, I don't know why you're on this channel if you're not living a mind, body, and soul lifestyle, but if you're just dead set against it, this is a red flag for women against someone like you, that you're not into being healthy. This includes your image and your appearance. If you're not interested in your image and your appearance, you think all this stuff is just for women. Self-care is for women. Image is for women. Fashion is for women. You're going to stay single and lonely, my friend. You absolutely will. What's a red flag for a woman? That when a guy can't take a joke. There's some guys that are too serious. They can't take a joke. They can't be playful. They can't really even allow themselves to be made fun of. They're too self-righteous, too uptight. That's a red flag. If you're a hothead, you overreact, you think that you're too tough, you get all pissed off and shit, that's a red flag. If you have negative self-talk and you speak poorly about yourself, you sit there and talk about your flaws too much. And it's one thing to be humble, but it's another thing to paint a picture of yourself being weak or a loser or angry or negative or whatever, right? We all have a past, but I wouldn't focus too heavily on it. Stop with the negative self-talk. You should stop that inside your head, but you should stop that verbally also. Don't talk bad about yourself. Be your own fan. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of an ego, but don't be a jerk about it. And the final one on red flags for women is if a guy's reckless with his money, he doesn't know how to save money, he doesn't know how to spend money properly, he's just reckless with his money. Red flag. Let's move on. Be who you are on purpose. If you don't, your 2-year-old whims will take you over with their drives of power and dominance. So ask yourself this, who am I? What do you mean when you say the word I? If you could have what you need and what you wanted, if you had a little magic wand and you could make your life whatever you wanted it to be, what would that look like? Who are you? Develop a vision for your life and move towards it. Now, you're allowed to change that vision. Don't get hung up on the vision. You don't have a goal? Pick anything. You may change your course on the way. It happens. It happened to me. Move to the next one. Talk a little bit more about relationships. Let's talk about marriage. Now, I'm not married, but I've been studying this. What are the conditions of a successful marriage? And some of you married guys who are successfully married, if you've been divorced 5 times, I don't need your comment. But if you know about a successful marriage, and some of you guys do, what are the conditions of a successful marriage? Tell us below. We need to know. I wrote down love, respect, having similar goals, having similar beliefs, at least respecting each other's beliefs, living a similar sort of lifestyle, at least where you're not conflicting. If you're messy and she's clean, that could be a constant argument for the rest of your relationship. And beauty and sexual attraction. I think it's important to maintain that. Don't give up on that. Let's move on. So there's a little list of celebrities that have been calling themselves God. Have you ever heard a celebrity call themselves God? Kanye West did it. Michael Jackson did it. Charlie Sheen did it. Your boy, who some of you guys follow and have compared me to, Wes Watson, just did it. There's a video floating around where he's comparing himself to a supernatural being. When you start thinking you're better than others, that's when you strayed off course. You're off the path now. We have any time? We're just about out of time. Here's just some stuff that I refuse to watch on TV. Let's go through this quick. I don't watch this content in movies or on YouTube or anywhere. I've been really strict about this because I'm trying to experience a little bit of mental clarity and mental purity. I've been studying about virtue and character and good a lot, trying to go towards the light. So I don't watch extreme violence of any sort. I don't watch extreme sexual activity or nudity or pornography of any sort. I don't watch perversion of any sort. I don't watch anything that emasculates men. I don't watch anything that is anti-men. I don't watch anything that promotes wokeness or their agenda. I don't watch anything that rewrites history. We got an election coming up. We might have a civil war the day after. If you're not ready, you better get ready. Food for thought.